Welcome to my pomegranate bush. Roll call. Over here we got Cedric Lamar, Ariana Grenade, and Red Sharan. So the idea was do what the Asians do. They put zip ties on fruits. I don't really know why, but it's a cool thing. But I thought if you put one on a pomegranate, it looked like Squidward with a headband. And now we're kind of almost at two Squidwards. I'll pull up the previous Squidward. We are now zip tied onto the pomegranate. Cedric Lamar is doing great though. Super small. I first put the zip tie on when he was about this size, literally just starting, so that way he'd grow around it. And then you end up with this really fat, let's get that off, I don't know what that is. This really fat looking pomegranate. Oh, there's little ants on top. What are you doing on a Cedric? Leave them alone. But, so what I've found is depending on the size, you get different looking fruit. This one I put on when he was a little bigger. He should be the same size as him, but at this point he's just pomegranate and a little squashed. He's still growing, doesn't look too destroyed, but it's not looking as cool as the other ones. This one, if you can tell, was put on about the size of that. And it's still looking pretty cool. Not total Squidward, more like a fat jellyfish, but it's getting pretty heavy. It doesn't seem like this one got stunted like this one did. This one up here, I call this guy the tribal pomegranate. He's been flowered like this for a long time. He's not fallen off. He didn't grow into a pomegranate. There's male and there's perfect flowers. The perfect ones will turn into a pomegranate every time, and they don't need a male to pollinate them. The male ones, that looks like it's blooming. The male ones just give out pollen, and that can be either spread around the tree or to another plant. So with a pomegranate plant, you'll get a good amount of pomegranates of just one plant, but if you have two plants, you get more. At least that's what the internet says. I don't know who's counting all the pomegranate plants by themselves. In each one of these little doodads, there's supposed to be 200 to 1,400 seeds. Technically one of the oldest cultivated fruit. We've been doing this guy for 4,000 years, and that's probably why it looks so sick at this point. And in 4,000 years, somehow, I'm the first one to put a zip tie on it. Each time the flowers come out, you get 3 little flowers. But I have seen it before where you get multiple pomegranates on one thing, but usually it drops the rest of the flowers. Oh, here's 4 on this one. It drops the rest of the flowers and it just grows 1 palm per little cluster. Probably because these guys are super heavy. And then remember, bugs are your friends. So when you see spider webs, you want to get rid of those. I find the spiders a little harder, but you need the pollinators to be able to come in here and not get stuck forever. And that means getting your cotton candy. So make sure you pick them, you put the zip tie on them after they flower, because you don't know if it's going to turn into a little dry flower and not actually flower. This doesn't want to come off yet, I'll just leave it. So he's all white on one side because when the sun comes in, it cooks him and turns him red. I really want it to be 2 huge pomegranates. 1 huge one on the top and 1 huge one on the bottom. I think that would be sick. Not exactly sure how old it is. Got like good bush going on. Maybe at least 10 years old, but it produces tons of fruit. And the thing with pomegranates is as they get older, they have a tap root. So it goes straight down instead of spreading out like normal fruit trees on the surface. So you have to deep water these guys. Otherwise it won't be able to support getting the fruit big. You'll get a bunch of baby fruit. So you got to water in time and keep them all watered throughout the summer. So that way it can get you big fruit. Come on, they're looking great. Where's the windy one? Oh, something ate this one. That's crazy. What is that? Who ate the side of the flower? Who's that hungry? There's so many ones that are... Bugs have no brains. And then since I thought that was such a cool idea, now we're making a giant lima bean. These are oranges. Orange tree. It's growing still. It doesn't look like it got stunted or anything. They're both still about the same volume on the inside. But this one turned into a bean. I saw this other tree. Wait, that one looks like an apple. I saw this other tree and it was huge, but the pomegranates... There was a lot less pomegranates, and the pomegranates were a lot bigger already. Maybe like 3 times the size, basically ready to eat. Which is really weird because they're not supposed to be ready yet. But whatever. Ooh, more spider web. No. Oh, this one's sitting on its leaf. Should it sit there? Oh no, we'll let them hang. Pomegranate.